Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently, well, working on things. Our primary goal is getting Ming obliterated, and we're really close to that. But I was just looking at this. Our war support's pretty low, from mostly combat casualties, enemy bombing, so on and so forth. We definitely want to spend some of our political power. We're capped on this. So let's just go ahead and do all of this. Fantastic. So that seems great, and there's no problem whatsoever there. So that is absolutely wonderful. We don't want to create all these collaboration governments at this moment. So our main concern right now is running out of manpower, and that is definitely a concern. There's no doubt about that. And what I'd really like to do here, I'm just looking at this setup here. I'd like to close this off right over here. So if we could pull that off, that'd be phenomenal. But I'm looking at our force concentration in this area, and I'm thinking there's really not all that much there. So that's a bit of a concern. Now, we do have some cutoff done up over here, and that's absolutely wonderful. We're going to stack wipe this unit. There we go. And there's apparently a bunch of naval invasions happening. Eastern Finland, Southern Sweden, Western Finland, Greece. Really? And northeastern Iberia. Okay. So, I mean, that is definitely a concern. I'm wondering about supply out in this area. It's a little bit grim. So I'm going to start constructing a supply hub right here, and we'll make sure that that gets this. But that's going to take a while to build, and I'm not too concerned about that right now. So we definitely have significant concerns about these naval invasions, but if we can obliterate Ming at this moment, that's going to be a big swing for us. So Ming controls 32% of victory points and will capitulate when they have 20% or less. Okay, so I really do want to get pushed in over this direction. I'm looking at our force concentration here, and I'm thinking it's going to take a little bit to do so. But if we were able to push here and here, we're not. But if we were able to do that, that would be absolutely enormous. Obviously, that's not going to happen at this exact moment. So I want to grab these tanks that are up here. In fact, I want to grab these units in general and make sure that they're all assigned to this attack order. We want to keep pushing over this way, and that's going nicely. Okay, now down over here, I can see that there's 30 units assigned to this attack order. That seems fine. I'm a little concerned about a naval invasion happening up here in, where did that say? Northeastern Iberia? Yeah, I'm concerned about a naval invasion happening there. That is actually a concerning development. So to that end, I'm grabbing this army, and I'm starting them moving out this way. So that's fine for now, and we'll continue to push in over this direction. I really want to see some victory points over here. Where are all of the victory points in this area? They're like all along the coast. Okay, that's exciting. So with them all being along the coast there, that of course means that there's not that many easily accessible victory points for us for Ming at this moment. Now we're about to link up over here, and that's fine. So we can see that these guys forgot about their attack over here again. We'll just do that. There we go. So they're now all attacking over here once more. So that seems fine. I'm not seeing a materializing naval invasion here. There may well be one over here in Greece. That's okay. I'm not too concerned about that unless it comes over to Turkey over here for right now. So for the moment, that seems fine, and I really want to see these guys start to move in over here. They're not fully in position yet, and that's a little awkward that it's taking them so long to get there. But a lot of this that we're seeing here is supply issues, right? We need a supply hub down over here. They unfortunately took our supply hub that was right there, and that's very, very sad. But for the moment, we'll just continue to work on this, and I want these guys to attack over here. So you can start pushing back this force. You can come in here, but we really need you to attack here. And we need to do something like this. Okay. So we managed to push these guys this way, so I'm going to move this force down to here. Now, this is a little awkward up over here as well. I want to get these guys wiped out over this direction. That seems fine for the moment. Now then, get in here. Get these guys pushed back. This is a pocket, and that is absolutely phenomenal. These guys can stay where they are. That's okay. But we want these to absolutely get this eliminated over here. So that's stack wiped. That's good. And then this offensive line, or rather this front line here, this isn't going as far as it should be. So we need this to come up over here, but there's a problem here in that this needs to be its own front line. But I don't know where the selection is for that. So we're going to move these guys over here, and we're going to try to manually do this. Okay, so the problem here, of course, is there isn't a front line that we can properly make here. Or rather, a front line. Wait, we can make it there. Okay, perfect. So that's fine, and we want them to be offensive lining just down to, like, here. Like that. Okay, so that looks good. We now stopped that right there, and we want to continue to push in. I'm checking in on this potential pincer here. I like this at this moment. I think this is looking potentially useful. Or rather, I should say potentially doable. So we're not actually making any gains over here right now. I want to check in up here. No naval invasion has materialized here. No naval invasion has materialized here. So far, so good on that front. I would really like it if these tanks would start actually doing something. They are having supply issues out over this direction, and that's understood. I'm going to put in a supply hub here. I'm going to put in a supply hub here, and I'm going to put one here, even though we have this one here. And I do definitely want to get this guy motorized up, and we're going to need to work on some of these connections out over this way. So that looks fine. We're going to work on this connection, make sure that this is connected in over here. There we go. Get that upgraded to a level 5 railway. Get these upgraded to a level 5 railway. And we're only reaching 20 over here. That's noted. But we'll get all of that worked on for the time being. We need supply in this region, and that is what we're going to do. Okay, so what's Ming at right now? Ming is now at 84% towards capitulation. Like I said, this area here has, like, no victory points in it. Like, at all. So that's mildly concerning. No doubt about that. That is mildly concerning. We're going to continue to push in these areas, and that's fine. I'd love to get this encircled up here. This still feels like we can get this encircled. Maybe if we were to use this guy, he's being attacked right now in an awkward manner, and he's going to get pushed out of there. I would love to attack here, but that's just not an option at this moment, unfortunately. So these guys are still pushing through here. We've just about gotten Nanjing, so that is a victory point, at least. And we're still working on this. We've got some redeploys happening here because we had this awkwardly happen. There's some strange shifts there, and that's understood. So at this moment, how are things looking over on this front? Well, it's kind of status quo-y. That's okay for the moment. On this front out over here, I want to see how this is going. We've only got 2 divisions assigned here right now. But let's continue to attack in these areas. These guys can't really do too much. And this is pretty status quo. This is fairly status quo. This is all pretty status quo over here as well. So that's understood. I'm going to start constructing some, and this is low priority, I'm going to start constructing some defenses over here just to make absolutely certain that it's very, very difficult for them to push through here. We're not really focused on that yet. This is where our primary effort is going. So I really want to see Nanjing fall, and that largely means that we need to check our supply in this area. Yeah, we can definitely motorize this hub, and then there's going to be this one over here, which will significantly help us. I like it. And then there's this down over here, which can be motorized as well. There's this one that can be motorized. That all looks good. This can be motorized too. So that's fantastic. I want to check to see if any of these need to be upgraded. They do. So we need to get some better connection over this way. Some potentially better connection over here as well. I want to link this in like that. I want to link this in like so. That looks good. This one's connected up decently. This needs to be transferred over, so we'll leave that for now. Okay. So we're going to have more supply flowing in these areas, and we're currently winning the attack in Nanjing. So that looks very, very good. Okay, now we're not, but we're definitely pressing in there. So that's noted. So southern Sweden, there's still a naval invasion being marked as being in Greece. I don't see it, but it's presumably around here somewhere. Now, we could definitely start contesting the seas from Britain, but why bother? It's funner this way. So we're just going to continue to basically cede the seas to Britain, and that'll be fine. For now, anyway. We may choose to do that later if we need to, but for the moment, I'm feeling like this is going well enough. So Ming is currently still at 84% towards capitulation. As we can see here, we're not making a huge amount of progress out in this area, and I'd love to see an attack here. Assisted by these guys, and assisted by these guys. There's 16 units here, and that's kind of a lot. I want to attack down over here, but we are lacking some supply out in this area, and that is absolutely understood. So that's fine for now, and I want to grab our tank armies over here, but our tank armies here are spread pretty thinly, it feels like. So that's these guys. There's only 19 tank units in this. I'm going to early deploy these. And we're going to move them in. Wait, this is now 18? Apparently we lost one. Okay, noted. But I want these guys to be pushing in pretty heavily, right? So, actually, no, it was these guys. Where did I just put those? I put them here. I mean, it's fine. They can go there. I think I'm going to step up recruitment of tanks a little bit, and we're going to take this up to 8. Okay. So there we go, that'll be fine, and we're just continuing to push in some of these areas. I would really like to see us take Nanjing. That would be a big move. They pushed us out over here. Very rude. I'm going to send these infantry over and see if we can harass them a little. And the answer is no. But okay. So they've got quite a number of forces here. This is mostly US troops, and that is understood. So at this moment, I really want to continue to push in down this direction. I'd love to encircle this area. We just don't have the tank concentration over here right now, which is sad. We have a little more progress that we need to make, but and we are making progress, but the progress that we're making isn't actually beneficial for us at this moment because there's just no victory points in this area, which is very, very sad. Very sad indeed. So that's understood, and we will continue to work our way through this. But the war is definitely getting tougher. It's grinding to a little bit of a halt. And that is understood. So checking in up over here, we want to attack here. We want to attack here. Actually want to attack here. Okay, so that's not actually going to be able to do anything at this moment. They're attacking us this way. That doesn't actually get them anywhere. So this area up over here, yeah, I mean, we need more troops out over here is the overall answer. These guys, they're just not doing anything because of the lack of supply. And it's going to take a while until this all gets finished, right? So that's understood. We're working on it. So we're not really attacking very much out over here. I want to grab this tank army. It's still only at 19 out of 30. I want to have it offensive line, particularly right down to here. So we'll have it focus on that, and it can go ahead and get started on that one. Okay, So that's fine for the moment. The real question is, can we get Ming to capitulate? Because we really need Ming to capitulate. We're working on our supply in these areas, but that is going to take time. And we've definitely seen our progress come to a bit of a halt over here. Now, what that means is we're kind of seeing a parallel to what happened in World War II. That's what's happening right now. So the question is, what do we want to do about it? Well, for right now, I just want to keep doing what we're doing. If we check in here, we can see 38 million to 9 million. Yeah, that's a lot of manpower loss on our side. No doubt about it. That's rough. And we want to do something about it, but what can we do? Well, we can recruit a little bit more, but, I mean, there's only so much additional recruitment we can do, right? So we can see that Britain is at 3 to 5 million. The US is at 20 to 28. That's a very wide gap. And then Ming is at 29 to 38 million manpower at this moment. So that's understood. This out over here is problematic, and I'm going to move a couple of additional tanks over to here. We definitely need more tanks over on this side, because otherwise these guys are just going to push their way on out, right? So I want these guys to come in and attack here while we get these tanks in position up here. We're going to need a few more, even. So we're going to move these guys up here, too. Okay, so that's all fine. We've got these infantry units at this moment, and I'm going to move these into this army. So this army is out over here, and that will be fine. So that seems okay for now. We're going to continue to push through over on this side, and hopefully we'll be able to get them pushed back over here with the additional tank forces. That's the dream. I'm wondering if they're going to overextend here. They very well might overextend here. In fact, I kind of feel like they are already overextended here, because we can come over here and attack this position, right? And that's exactly what I want to do. We kind of can't, actually. These guys are struggling with it. But that's understood for now. So they're trying to break out up in the north here. We have another naval invasion in Iberia, allegedly, and we've still not managed to do anything about this one due to lack of supply. It takes so long to build these supply hubs. They're so far away still. And that's understood. We have forces on the way over this direction, though. So they will be arriving over here eventually. That's these guys. And I want them to position, like, out over here. So we want them to get to a naval base that's out over here. They're just going to move to Aleppo for now. But they're taking a long time to move. Now, this is actually pocketed out here. So I want to grab these guys and offensive line down to here, like that. Go ahead and execute that as soon as you can. They do have access to supplies through this naval base, but I don't think they can actually do too much here. So we've clearly made progress here in the south. What is Ming at now? Still 84. And this is because all of their victory points are just so far away. So we are making some progress out over here. I want to see... I'm not really seeing any major opportunity here. We can move in here. They beat us there, so that's understood. I'm going to attack here in order to hold these guys for the moment. There we go. And we actually took that, so that's actually huge. That is enormous. So we're very happy about that. That is excellent. Now, out over this direction, I'd still like to collapse this a little bit. That would be very good for us. But as of right now, this is okay. So I want to grab these guys that are down here, and the infantry should also be offensive lining over here for right now. Just get in there. So that seems okay. Out over this direction, we're slowly making progress over here. This has started up. So we need this army that is currently on their way over here. We need them to come over here and start an offensive line over this way. Start an offensive line over this way. There we go. So they need to do something like that. And they can go, like, this, that'll be fine. And army regrouping is okay. I probably should have gone for infantry expert there. This guy is an infantry commander, so we'll go for infantry expert, and he can go for infantry specialist. That'll be fine. We can go for a preferred tactic here. This is for this guy. And he's mostly infantry, so we're going to go for, like, elastic defense. That'll be okay. This guy is tanks, and we're going to go for blitz for his preferred tactic. Okay. Otherwise, we've got this guy out over here. He's an infantry leader. He can be a guerrilla fighter. That'll be okay. And then this guy, he is leading infantry as well, so he can go for infantry expert. Okay. Eventually, we will get a situation where we have these supply hubs built over here, but it just isn't happening right now. So I want to check in. Yeah, we're supposed to be attacking over here. We just don't have supply in this area, so that's understood. These guys will get here eventually, but it'll take them time. So that is all fine for the moment. What I want to see over here right now is us making some real, actual progress across this river. So that basically means launching an attack here to try to encircle Nanjing. They're trying to break out over this way, but we'll see what happens out over here. I'm pretty concerned about what we've got going on right now. Ming is just refusing to capitulate, and we're not making a huge amount of progress on this front right now. So I want to take a look at what we've got here. This is only 10 divisions that are assigned to this. This is supposed to be this entire army. So that's 19 divisions. This is 24 divisions that are assigned to this. I want everybody to be assigned to this. So that means we're no longer assigned out over here. That's absolutely fine. I want this entire front on the attack. So that seems good for now, and we're pulling the tanks out over here. That's okay. I'm fine with that. That means that the tanks are going to be focused on this side. So we're mostly fighting defensively out over here right now, right? And what army group is this? Army Group 4? And then this one is Army Group 1. Okay, sure. So we don't have anyone assigned over here now. That's actually a problem. That is a problem. We need these tanks over here. Get over here, guys. Okay, so that's okay. We'll continue to push these guys back. Beautiful. So supplies continue to be an issue out over here, and we are working on it, but it just takes so long to build those hubs. It takes so long. I would love to take this position. What do we suppose the odds are? This may be okay. We can attack over here, or assist the attack, rather. And these guys, can they reach up here to assist this attack? Hang on. They might not be able to. I want this tank in here to assist the attack, though. So we're working on this. If we can take this position, that is huge. I want these guys to assist this attack, too. Eventually, this tank unit will get here. But they're reinforcing this, and that's understood. So up over this direction, how is this looking? A little bit awkward, for sure. I want these guys to be offensive lining over to here. Get over here. We now have 33 out of 30 units in this army. Okay, I don't know how that happened. I'm going to grab these 3 and move them back into their correct army. That apparently was 4. And I'm going to put that here for now. Okay. So this is a little awkward. I feel like we need to do a redeploy out over here, and that would definitely help matters, but things are definitely unraveling a little bit on this front, and we need to take action on that. The question is, what action are we wanting to take? Well, for right now, I want an offensive line up like this, and there we go. Apparently there's no divisions assigned to that. Get in here, guys. There we go. So we'll do something like that, and we'll see about getting that taken care of. Our forces are still deploying over this direction. So, out of curiosity here, yeah, we're still 84% towards capitulation. We're slowly working our way in over this way. Very slowly, but we are pushing our way in. Okay, we just got a cipher for Ming. That's potentially a big deal. So I'm going to deploy that cipher immediately against Ming. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab all of our army groups that are out over here, So that's this army group. I'm going to tell him to aggressively attack. We've got this army group. We're going to aggressively attack here as well for the time being. And then this army group up over here, that's this guy, also aggressively attack. Okay, so that seems fine for now. And are they actually assigned to this? Hang on. This is Army Group 4 here. This is supposed to be Army Group 1. So I'm going to delete that, and we're going to have these guys be told to just push out, something kind of like this. Well, it's 37 divisions that are assigned to that anyway. So that seems fine, and we're going to aggressively attack over here. This is going to be a lot of manpower loss, and that's understood. But what we need to do is we need to capitalize on what we've got, which is the Ming cipher. So that's all absolutely wonderful. We can do this for about 30 days, and that will hopefully push us through some of these positions. That's the dream, anyway. And it appears to be working. We're making progress again. So that looks good. So we'll just continue to work our way through this for now, and I'm hoping to see Nanjing fall fairly soon, but for now, that looks okay. Now, up over this direction, there's definitely still awkwardness going on up here. We don't have enough forces to be able to contain this, right? And that's understood. For the moment, I'm not concerned about this area, although I'm slightly concerned about what I see here. Hang on. Oh, this is one of those stupid situations where they just don't... They push forward, and then they forget to get this done. That's very unfortunate. So this front needs to be changed to also include this up over here. That's of vital importance. But as it is, I think I'm just going to do this. This is very silly, but I want these guys to not be here, and I want them to be up here instead. So we'll get them up there, and then that'll be fine. There's no divisions assigned here. And what army is this? That is this army. Okay, so get up here, and I want you guys to have your front line be going all the way to the sea. We want to have coverage everywhere here. So we'll just do that for now, and that means that these guys are going to pull out of here. And hopefully they'll get out in time, but we'll see. Nope, they do not. Okay, so these are going to get stack wiped then. Unless we can build a naval base here, but I kind of doubt it. Like, we're going to be regularly attacked here, right? So, can we head southward, though, and drive to here? That's an interesting question. But these guys are likely stack wiped, all because the AI makes those silly mistakes when it's a non-contiguous region. Okay, well, that's fine. We're continuing to push through Ming. We've got an encirclement up over here, and we're making good progress in Ming now. So let's get this eliminated, and that'll be fine. How are things looking in terms of Ming's capitulation? They are still 84%. Okay. Well, I want these guys to get in here and just wipe this out. I would love it to see this entire area stack wiped. So we're working on that, and in the meantime, we are eliminating these guys up over here. That is a very good push. I'm happy about this. Nanjing still hasn't fallen, but that's not terribly surprising. Get up here. Just eliminate that. There's no one there. Get rid of it. We don't want to have to deal with that right now. So we're back to pushing, and we're successfully pushing at this moment in most locations here. So that's good, and that will start getting us to some of these victory points. We are now beginning to arrive at some victory points. So that's great to see. I want to see these guys attack Nanjing right now. And you don't have to, but everyone else here should. Okay, we're struggling with this attack a little bit, but at first it was doing pretty well. I think we can redo this attack pretty soon. They're struggling to reinforce this area. And you should be attacking here. Okay. So Nanjing is about to fall. I do see that we apparently left this area undefended. Okay, that's exciting. But let's move through over here. And yeah, I know that these guys up here are likely stack wiped. Yeah, they definitely are. These guys are probably going to get stack wiped too. At this moment, I'm not concerned about this area. These troops are sacrificial. So that's fine. We still haven't managed to get these guys over. Where are these guys? Where are the troops? Why are there only 2 assigned here? You're supposed to all be here. Okay, I don't know why these troops are being very silly. But for now, again, I'm not concerned about this theater. I want to wrap this one up, and then we can turn on them. That's the idea. So Nanjing finally falls. Ming is now at 82% towards capitulation. Oh, okay. They've apparently broken out over this direction. Well, that's not actually going to do much for them. They're opening up a long tendril here, and we're going to be able to do something about that pretty soon. So that's fine. Nanjing has fallen, and we've got more victory points in our sights now. So this area is done. And now we're going to want to use some forces over here, like these guys, to push all the way down to here. I'm not expecting significant problems down this way. So we can get them pushed back, and that should be fine. They are cut off now. That should be okay. And we'll continue to push into Ming. This is a bit of an issue, but we can cut them off like this. And this is very minorly defended in this area. This is not a significant breakthrough, actually. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to push through out over this direction, and we've got some major redeploys happening, it would appear, and that's likely what we're seeing going on right now. But we are making significant progress over here now. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge, Eskiel, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.